Welcome to the EXCELcast. I'm Melissa Coppola, and I'm a program assistant here at the EXCEL department at University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Today I'm here with Noniko Hsu and Ryan McDonald, the founders of Classical Music Network. Welcome to.
Hi.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit, what is Classical Music Network?
So Classical Music Network is the ESPN for classical music. We provide commentary and production services to classical music events, especially for competition, hopefully.
Fantastic. That's great. So can you tell me a little bit more about what your goals are?
Well, our goals, you can think of it as an outreach goals. So we view that there's new blood coming in. There's often a disconnect with the audience out there, and we hope that with these types of services, it allows a better connection to newer audiences coming into classical music.
Got it. Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned ESPN in your initial description of Classical Music Network, and I'm really interested, what about ESPN inspired you guys to use it as a model for CMN?
Yeah, sure. So after an internship at the NBC Sports last year, I studied a little bit about how the sports industry came to what it is today from what they were before ESPN and NBC Sports become really big. It was similarly with how classical music were like just about 10 years ago. It was pretty scattered. Everyone has their own niche. You know, basketball is just basketball. Football is only football. But then having these network kind of like brings all the sports together under one umbrella. And that kind of provides a go-to place for all sports fans. So all sports fans can just go to ESPN and they can find their own niche interest from that point on. But ESPN kind of become this go-to place for everyone. It's like an instant no-brainer if you don't know what you like, if you don't know what to watch, and that's kind of your go-to. And so we took that model.
And we got to talking about this. We were discussing this, and we thought, well, classical music doesn't really have anything like this. If you were someone new to football, you wanted to point them somewhere for them to learn more, you just say, well, go to ESPN. And for classical music, if you just tell them, well, if you want to learn more about classical music, you go to, there's no place like that, you know?
Yeah, and we found that there's a lot of resources out there that's very focused on one aspect of classical music. Like there's Audition Cafe that's focused on audition. There's like Strings for the Strats that's focused on string. There's like Flute World that's like specifically for flute. But if it's a general like person new into classical music, we don't have a place to point them to as a first step.
It's all very scattered. There's no consolidation
For sure.
among all the sources.
So your website is more of a central hub where people can access all those different things. That's awesome. So you're really committed to accessibility within your project, and I think part of that is that I think is really interesting is your commitment to live commentary on performances. And you just had your pilot performance live streaming the Ann Arbor Camerata with live commentary. I would love to hear more about what that experience was like for you guys.
Yeah, so the preparation took a long time because none of us had done commentary before.
Kind of just stabbing at it in the dark a little bit.
Yeah, kind of just like learning from the book, read a lot of like how other people does it and how, I mean, I watch
how they do it in sports.
Right, like I watch a lot of Olympic show, Ryan watched a lot of esports.
Yeah, I'm a fan of esports, so I took a lot of inspiration from esports commentary. We also watch figure skating to learn from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then at first the biggest concern we had was how much talking we could do during the music was playing, because the radio has always been doing, you know, introducing the music and then glides into the performance. But what we wanted to do is like sports, you talk during the show, during the action, but we were concerned about how much we can do about that.
Like finding the limit, how much is too much, how much how much can we get away with without it distracting from the music, so to speak, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that you'll learn so much more as you continue to do that, and I think that's so great. So what do you do in the meantime when you're not live broadcasting and creating, you know, how do you create regular content for your website?
Well, mostly we write it. We have a blog on our website, and we try to update it at least weekly with stories focusing on real music. We call it real musicians, real stories.
And we do interview style, we do transcript from like the school music commencement. We have both speaker speech published now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then, we have a plan for doing a summer special focusing on summer music festivals.
So I'd love to hear more about what your experience was like working on this project in the incubator process within the EXCEL department this semester. We've talked a little bit about some of the challenges that you encountered, but I'm really curious to hear if there's anything that you've encountered this semester that you thought was easier than you expected.
Well, in the early phases, we were doing our market research. And for part of that, we just went around campus and just did random interviews with people. We'd walk up to them, ask them for a quick minute or two. And after the first couple, felt a little weird, but after that, it just felt surprisingly okay, just knock them out. It felt a lot more natural.
That's great.
Yeah, and also when we started our website, we need a blog portion. So my original idea was to ask some of the music friends to contribute content. And at first, it was like a mini theater in my brain. It's like, oh, it's going to be so hard. Nobody's going to say yes. But then after I just send out a message, ask some friends, and it's just oh, it's actually not that intimidating.
Yeah. Well, it's great to know that, your community is really supportive and you're finding lots of new friends and you're really expanding the network. So thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for being here. To learn more, you can visit cmusicnetwork.com, and thank you so much for watching.